Welcome to the Daily Plunge. We are in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 1, verses 1 through 17. Now, it says, this is the genealogy. Now, the Greek word there actually is the word for Genesis. This is the Genesis of Jesus, the Messiah. He's the son of David, the son of Abraham. And right off the bat, we hear how the Messiah promising God is shaping Israel's history, right? To keep this promise, to bring about our Savior from the covenant with Abraham, which was to be a blessing for all the people, through the covenant to David, that there would be a king from David's line that would be the king forever. And when we get into this genealogy, starting with Abraham, it is one shameful, broken story after another. And what this shows us is that out of the brokenness and sin of people's lives, of even people that are considered faithful, God is bringing about his promised salvation, bringing about his anointed one. So we start with that he is descended from Abraham, that covenant that was made, that God would make a great nation of Abraham. And the promised son, the son of God's grace, which is Isaac. But Isaac, he sort of is challenged a little bit, and from him we get Jacob, the heel snatcher, and that he with the wife he doesn't love, right? He gets Judah. And then Judah, he has a child with Tamar. Well, Tamar had to trick him into giving her a child. And then next beyond that, we get down to Solomon, who was probably one of the warriors who was part of taking down the city of Jericho. And it's because he ends up with Rahab, and Rahab's a prostitute. And from Rahab and Solomon, we're going to get Boaz, right? Who will be married to Ruth, who is a Moabite. She's not even a Hebrew either. And from their union comes Obed, and from Obed is Jesse, who will be the father of David. And then David is going to bring about Solomon with Bathsheba, the woman he had adultery with, the woman that he killed her husband. And from out of that severe brokenness comes Solomon. And then we go on, and there's these others, Jehoshaphat, who was faithful. Some of these kings were faithful. Then we get to Jehoram, who was unfaithful, and he put all his contenders to death. Manasseh, who sacrificed his children to Molech, sought omens, consulted mediums and spiritists, who was just an occultist, right? And then Ammon and so many of the other kings who just did much evil in the eyes of the Lord. Then we get down to Jehoiakim, who was the last king, who went into Babylon and was imprisoned for 37 years, and at the end of his life has a child who can then give birth. And then Zerubbabel, who will be the priest who helped rebuild the temple. And we come down, all the way to Jacob, who's the father of Joseph. We have no clue who Jacob is and what he did. And then there'll be Joseph. And one of the things to see as you read those the first 17 verses, it looks like, these are just a bunch of names. No, these are a bunch of stories. And then what it is that God's promise is greater than flesh, it's greater than faith. And God is working to bring about his promises. Hey, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.